In today's episode, we are cleaning tile and we're going to be scrubbing out the grout lines and then using a little bit of resealer at the very end, which we'll flat mop on. And you'll see in this video, I'm going to run a little test, but it looks like somebody used color seal. The homeowner bought this home 2 years ago. And if you look close on the white tile in the grout lines, there's some areas where it's already peeling or fading off. And what color seal is it never fully penetrates or adheres permanently to the concrete or the grout lines. It's actually laying on the surface like paint. That's basically what it is a paint. It's become very, very popular these days over the past few years, and there are a lot of reputable companies that offer it. I don't agree with the basically painting your grout lines. Yes, it can change it, but it's not going to be a permanent fix. The best thing is to choose your grout before, and if you don't have an opportunity like this person, then what you're going to do is uncover what's going on. So with the little test we've done there, we're just kind of scrubbing an area, and we'll do that with the grout brush. And you'll see, not as apparent over here in this area where there hasn't been as much wear. I wanted to do a test kind of in an off-beaten area there. So the two different style tiles, or colors, I should say. I don't think this is clay, the tan one. I don't think it's a Saltillo or Mexican tile. Could be. I don't claim to be an expert in that, but I'm not going to use anything that would damage any of the tile anyway. We're using basically a peroxide cleaner and a orange all-natural oil, D-limonene, to degrease, and the peroxide is about a 15% grade peroxide. It's going to basically boil down into the grout lines and allow that degreaser to remove the dirt. So, and we are just doing the open areas. They moved a lot of stuff out of the way. We're not moving the fridge, dishwasher, or stove. Here I'm going to add a little more cleaner to it and see what kind of results we get. The harshest part of the whole process is using the grout brush. And we did notice, you'll see as we go along, I spoke to the person, the homeowner, and explained that it appears that somebody has color sealed these grout lines. And I explained that there's, a good possibility, unless you just want a general surface cleaning, and we don't get into the grout lines, and we just kind of use a neutral pH cleaner and just go over the surface, then you'd probably be safer with your color seal. However, she wants these really cleaned, and she wants the grout lines cleaned out. If you look at my previous video, we did her countertops, and oh my gosh, there was some real heavy dirt and grime you'll see just on the countertop. So you can imagine what's in these grout lines. But if you look close, you see it lightened compared to the tile there above the ones we just cleaned. Might not be as apparent to you on the video, but to me, I could see it a lot clearer. See how they're like a light gray there. I think this color tile, these ones don't appear to have the color seal on there. It looks like they used maybe a different color grout. I'm not sure. Or it could be it's just, adhered a lot better to this, but usually comes right up. There'll be a few areas that I'm sure will not come off. That happens, and you want to set your expectations ahead of time if you're doing this type of work. of what could happen, and I set the expectations when I saw that it looked like someone used a color seal. Fully explained that to the client and said, hey, when we're done, I can tell you how to, if there's anything left, like see how it's already bubbling up over here in lightning and then it gets dark over in this area? Same thing, but I tell the customer, if there's anything left, it's not something we offer. We don't color seal. We're cleaning, and then we're just going to seal what we have. The sealer that we're using is a mild sealer, which could be removed without stripping. And we're not using a stripper product on this. You've got to be real careful what you use. In some cases, there are times where we'll use a floor stripper, and we'll test an area to see if it's a glazed tile or what's on the surface of the tile. You can create some real headaches for yourself if you don't know what you're doing, but look at that dirt. But here, what I'm doing, pretty simple procedure. It cleans like crazy. We get in the closet as best we can. All right. So the first step was we pre-vacuum everything really well. And then we did the test. So we want to make sure you want to know what you're dealing with. I could have used a less noticeable area for the test, like under the counter back here where he's getting ready to go on your left or top of the screen. But I kind of had a feel for what was going on here, and since we're only using the peroxide and the orange oil, I didn't think we were going to need to be in a less conspicuous area. And if anything went wrong, I could always get a black color seal and match it back up again and then not do the job. So there are times a lot of tile and grout cleaning companies like to come out and do an in-home estimate. I did that on this job. At that point, I did not notice the color seal. So some guys will come out and they will see that and they'll turn down the job. It's just too much work. But again, if you set the expectations ahead of time, you let the client know, what you're doing and what the potential outcome could be, then you're covered. So you can see a lot of that. It is dirt, but a lot of that is, I think that color seal just, it just peels off. Like I said, it just sits on the surface. We're going to suck up the slurry. I mentioned this when I was doing the countertops, is that if you do grout lines that, are, 1/8 to a ½ inch, sometimes wider, the whole culprit and what's happened here is when you use a mop, you're just getting the surface of the tiles, and then you're swooshing dirty water that you've got off the surface of the tiles, sinking it down into those grout lines. And if it's not sealed, it's porous. It's going to definitely suck into the grout lines, and now you're just basically dirtying up your tile grout lines. So if you're a homeowner and you're cleaning and you're doing it yourself with a mop, stop doing that. Get yourself a flat mop similar to what you'll see me use with a microfiber flat pad. And when you spray your cleaner down, and you can use a mop if you want to, spray it down and mop all over the place. Get the solution down pretty heavy though, not just thin enough to where it settles into the grooves. And get yourself one of those grout brushes like you see me using. You can get those, I think, at Home Depot for like $8, and it screws onto a regular mop handle. And take the time, scrub the grout. No need to get on your hands and knees. I see so many do-it-yourself videos and people are with a toothbrush on their hands and knees. That's what the grout brush was designed to eliminate. That's what it was designed to eliminate, that you could be on your feet. And the job is tedious enough, as you can see, to get down on your feet. But look at that. So then what you want to do is get it real scrubbed out like we did. And you'll see right now I'm just doing the surface with a red 3M scrubbing scouring pad. you can take a couple of those green, I think they're like 6 by 4 inch wide scouring pads that you use for cleaning pots and pans. You can put 2 of them on the bottom of your flat mop side by side and use that and just scrub the surface real good. And then what you'll see me do next is apply a little more solution to reactivate everything. The solution, the water that's in the solution is going to help to let all that soil float. And then you're going to take your shop vac and you're going to extract all of that dirty soil that you just got floating on the top. So rather than take a mop and dry it up with a mop and leave all that crap in those grout lines, you're going to suck up the slurry. That's what's going to remove the dirt. And it's really not a whole lot, in a small area like this, kitchen dining room, I'll probably get in the bottom of my 4-gallon shop vac, maybe 1.5 to 2 inches of slurry that I have to dump. But here I am going through, and since we scrubbed the grout lines, spray a little more solution down just to loosen everything up, reactivate, get all that soil floating up out of the surface of the hardwood floor, the tile. And then we'll shop vac it up, and then we'll go to the next step once we're done with that, which will be the final finishing, which will be the flat mop, and I'm going to spray down a little bit of cleaner sealer. If you look at the last previous video where we did these countertops and they came out beautiful, I showed exactly what products we were using. So go to that video if you're trying to figure out what the solution was. You'll see it somewhere within that video. These floors are coming out amazing. Most of the color seal did come off. There are some areas where it's on there pretty firmly. And, it's not my job to come in here and I could have took the brass brush, got on my hands and knees and tried to get that out. They do I have an orange gel paste, which is a paint remover. And I've used that. I don't use that on my regular day-to-day residential customers. I use it when I do commercial work and they're doing renovations or they're redoing the building and painters have got paint on the floors, hardwood floors. The orange gel you could actually put on a small brush and you could put it in those areas where the color seal was left and it'll take it out, make it more uniform. So I did explain to the client if you're interested, and of course the client was just elated with how beautiful the countertops came out and how nice and clean these tiles came out. So hardly noticeable once the furniture goes back in place. As far as in here, the dining room table, you won't see or notice the color seal. And like I told my client, the color seal is going to wear off eventually anyway. I don't recommend that you have it color sealed again for this very reason, because if you color seal, you really cannot get aggressive at cleaning your grout lines. It's best to use a clear color seal. And I do recommend, if you're getting your floors done and if it's an expensive job or an expensive home and you want to go the extra mile and have the clear coat sealer where they roll it into the grout lines, there are some companies that use one that they slosh on there and then it falls into the lines. But as far as I know, the companies that I'm familiar with, it takes a lot of time. Some of them do it by hand. So that's something to consider. The sealer I'm using is just a general sealer. Like I said, you can see it in the last video. Let's take a look at these pads. Oh my goodness. Pulling up that soil, and that's just the surface soil. That's what was left after the vacuuming. You see the color seal? That is not dirt, folks. You could see side by side. The original grout is the concrete look, which I like more beneficial to me, at least in my taste, than the black. And again, that is like a paint. So it was put on here. Somebody paid to have that done, or maybe the previous homeowner did it. Sometimes when they sell the homes, they'll do that. You could see it's pretty apparent right there. Again, you could take the time and work that out, but I don't recommend it. You really, I mean, I'm getting right down on the tile and showing you just for demonstration purposes, but your average person is going to come in and they're going to look at it at eye level, which is usually about 5'5" off the ground. If it's someone shorter, 5'2", 5 foot, they're not even going to notice it. So here are the pads I'm using. They're Rubbermaid, Home Depot product. You can find that. And then the cleaner sealer. We'll put it down. And then we'll come back and we'll flat mop that in. The benefit of this one is, like I said, it's not labor intensive. It is just your general basic sealer. I've used it before. I know it works. I tested it, let it dry, and it does repel water. I think it has some very good reviews. So here we go. I didn't realize this one has those little things that tuck on the outside, but works nonetheless. We'll work in and around all the areas, back a little bit in the areas where we couldn't get with the machine. That cleaner's going to clean that as well, up under the lip there of the counters in the fridge, stove, dishwasher, in the closets, all the way back and in the areas needed. You could see it. It looks, oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. And when this dries, it will look 100 times better. That's the one thing about cleaning tiles, is that I never get to see the finished product unless I come back. But after it fully dries, if you're in the business, you know. So to get it this clean while it's still damp is truly amazing. It shows the cleaning ability of that peroxide. Wow. So there you have it. Oh my goodness. Look at that beautiful tile. Job well done, Poly C. So much for the color seal. Please steer clear of that if you're a homeowner. I don't recommend it. Like I said, you could see here, some of it already spilt out of the hose when I tipped it over there on your right. But good amount there. That is the soil that we recovered. I'll dump it out and let you watch it. At this point in the video, I hope you got something out of it. Watch out for color seal. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your busy day to watch my videos. I'll see you in the next one.